Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the nopCommerce conference event so far. So let me start by a quick introduction. My name is Lavish Kumar, and this is my co-presenter, Shakti Tanwar.
Hi, everybody.
And we'll be just giving you a quick overview about ourselves. I'm a full-stack developer by profession, based out of New York, and I'm founder of Striving Programmers, which is an online community for developers and a resource for nopCommerce tutorials. At Striving Programmers, we are focused on helping beginners, intermediate, and expert web professionals and developers in building websites and web applications. And we have published almost 150 how-to tutorials on nopCommerce. So when you get a chance, please check out strivingprogrammers.com. I'm sure many of you will find it useful. And Shakti?
Yeah, so we are working under umbrella of TechPro.comsoft, and we have around 35 plus developers. We are based out of India, and since last 7 years, we are developing solutions for the industry.
Thank you. Okay, so here's the agenda. We are really excited to present this topic to you, and I hope many of you will find it useful. I'll be talking about some integration ideas, how this idea came up, what are the benefits, and I'll be discussing some different types of integration that we have created, and I'll give you a demo of a final product. This is the first time we are giving demo for this product, and along with this presentation, we will be launching this integration as well. And Shakti will be discussing the technical aspects and some future enhancements that are on our roadmap to support this integration. And at the end, we'll have some Q&A session. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer those. So everyone knows that nopCommerce is a leading .NET-based e-commerce solution, and Wordpress is a world-famous blogging platform that is backed by thousands of custom themes and plugins. So integrating nopCommerce with WordPress can be seen as a natural choice for businesses who are looking into taking advantage of best of both worlds, basically. So the idea for this integration started as a kind of like a fun project. One day I was just thinking that what kind of integration we can do with WordPress and nopCommerce, because I haven't seen one in the community. And every now and then I always see users posting questions on nopCommerce forum that can you add this CMS functionality, or that they keep requesting different features. And don't get me wrong, nopCommerce does offer a lot of CMS functionalities out of the box, but at the same time those features are limited because at the end of the day it's an e-commerce project. So with this idea, I reached out to Shakti and his team because I've worked with them in past, and we discussed the idea, they liked it, and we basically started the development work from that day. So the plan was that I will guide Shakti's team on how the integration should work, and from day one, like Shakti and his team did all the coding and development work from scratch. And they, whether it's for WordPress or nopCommerce, they did everything. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea of how it started. Many of you may think that why we are thinking about like adding nopCommerce support for WordPress, because if many of you have used WordPress, there are plugins available such as like WooCommerce, for instance, free. Anybody can start e-commerce store. But the main difference is WooCommerce is a plugin, not a platform, while nopCommerce holds a big platform for specializing e-commerce. So that's the biggest difference. And other difference is nopCommerce offers many basic and advanced features out of the box for free. While if you talk about WooCommerce, you can start your e-commerce store, but as your business grows, it gets expensive, because if you can see that here, even small options adding to your website, even like a product search, costs you some money. If you have multiple sites, it can add up. These are like very basic functionalities in managing an e-commerce store. Even products CSV import file, which nopCommerce supported from day one. WooCommerce, they charge for each plugin. So there are many paid plugins for basic functionalities that nopCommerce offers free out of the box. So that's why we thought that, you know what, we need some kind of integration because we know nopCommerce is one of the best e-commerce platform, and I'm biased towards nopCommerce. I like nopCommerce. So what are the benefits of this integration? first benefit is when you have better CMS functionalities on your site, your store owners can provide rich content to your customers. And when you have rich content, that means your customer will be actively engaged with your website. And when they're actively engaged, basically they are spending more time on your site. And when you're getting more traffic on your site, then you can let the CMS functionalities leverage. You can leverage CMS traffic and use that traffic to drive your sales with nopCommerce. So with these benefits, we started this integration that first our focus was how we can make this integration as flexible as possible. By flexible, I mean every kind of integration, if you have seen in past, comes with set of instructions, and sometimes integration can be limited, that you have to use certain way, you cannot use, there's a lot of limitations, I should say. But with this integration, our focus was how we can make, take advantage of best of both worlds, and how we can attract as many users from WordPress as well as nopCommerce. So we decided that we should do two kinds of integration in this, which one will be based on CMS, one will be CMS driven, and other will be the eCommerce driven, in which WordPress will be your CMS site and nopCommerce will be your store. And same thing, other scenario is basically eCommerce driven, in which nopCommerce is your primary store and how you can add WordPress driven content to it. So this is one scenario in which you have WordPress site, basically, that, let's say if you have a primary business site based on WordPress. You're thinking about adding e-commerce functionality, you can add a new subdomain store. Many companies do that. And with this, you can have a regular standard WordPress site with your theme and everything. And with this CMS-driven integration, we'll bring nopCommerce content on your WordPress site. So this is a quick wireframe. Basically, you'll have your logo, menu, blog pages of WordPress site as standard, but we will be bringing content like order information for users and customer product feed, categories, product search, cart, and those things. And the next is the e-commerce driven site, in which nopCommerce will be your primary website, and you can add WordPress content to it. So same thing, you will have your nopCommerce pages, catalog, cart, your theme, widget, header, everything there, and we'll be bringing WordPress content to it, and there will be user sync. So this is like just picture your standard out-of-the-box nopCommerce site, and we'll be bringing, in this case, if you have a blog based on WordPress, we can actually bring all that data on your WordPress site, along with author information and everything. So one common scenario in this is, let's say, because nopCommerce does offer a blog feature too out of the box, but let's say if you have like 10 employees in your company, 5 of them are marketing, they're writing, right now everybody has access to everything. I mean, there's an access control feature in nopCommerce, but there's no feature like multi-author or anything like that. So you can technically use WordPress for posting content on your site, and it'll show up on your WordPress site with this. And we have a feature available for user sync. User sync means every customer created on your nopCommerce will be created on WordPress as well as a user. And same thing with our CMS-driven integration. Whenever anyone registers on your WordPress site, that customer will be created on nopCommerce as well. So they'll be able to use same password. Anything that gets updated on one side will be synced in with the other one. So let me give you a quick demo of our final product. Again, this is, we will be supporting, so we'll be taking feedback on how you think we should improve it. And right here. So, okay, well, this is a demo, yeah. It's super secret. Okay. Okay. Okay, we are back. All right, sorry about the issue. Okay, so this is the WordPress site, and all these products that you're looking are coming from nopCommerce. These are just like your category feature products, and this is the category tree, just the way you see on your sample demo nopCommerce site. This is your shopping cart. This is a product search. So, and one thing I wanted to mention that this integration was not possible without nopCommerce API that was contributed by Nop Templates. That was a really good contribution they did. We used that API, and with the help of that, this is actually, everything is coming directly right from the nopCommerce site. So you can see this product page. Okay. So since I mentioned that in this integration, we will be using best of both worlds. We brought basically the shopping cart on the WordPress site, but we didn't want to create cart from scratch because we already got nopCommerce and it has already security features implemented in it, so we didn't want to add or create a shopping cart right here. So in this kind of example, what we have done is so here's product addict. So when I check out, it basically redirects you to the nopCommerce site, and it feeds the products basically. And you can check out, and since we have a customer sync option available in this integration, so every user created on WordPress site will work on your nopCommerce site too. So if they were registered on your WordPress site, they can easily sign in with same password, everything will be synced in. And let me show you how this integration works from the back end. Actually, let me show you one more thing, what we are supporting. We are even supporting with this integration all the products with the attributes. So prices will be updated just like the way you have seen in the nopCommerce site. And same thing. We have the support for group products too. So in this case, we have group products here. So products will be set up on your nopCommerce site, and with this integration, you can actually put it on your WordPress site. So let me show you how. And this is really easy to implement. Because one of our focus in this integration was, if you make it too difficult, users are not going to use it because there are already some options available like WooCommerce, like I mentioned before. If you make it too technical, nobody will use it. So we wanted to make it as much user-friendly as possible. Okay. Okay, so if you are an admin on your WordPress site, I'm sure you are familiar with shortcodes. That's what you have to do. We have built a list of shortcodes by which you can inherit these products. So, for an instance, this is the category trees coming. All you have to do is post this one, and it will show up. And what we can do is, if you have multi-stores on nopCommerce, all you have to do is mention your store ID right here, and it will inherit all those categories from that particular store. Same thing with search. Admin only have to put this search, so if I put this right here, sorry, what? Oh. Better? Okay. Just putting 2 search bars just to show you how this works. So right here, it'll work. So yeah, so with all these shortcuts, you can easily add anywhere on your WordPress site. It works with any custom theme that you may want to use. And this is our plugin information. Basically, this is our API settings in which you just mention your nopCommerce URL. And if you want to sync in, for syncing the user data, you can actually assign role right from here. And this supports you can actually assign, all you need is a role ID from nopCommerce, and you can mention here. I can mention 3 roles, so every time I create a user on WordPress site, it will be created as a customer on your nopCommerce site with that particular role that you mentioned here. And we have our settings here. The integration is done by the auth settings security, because we are using nopCommerce nop API. So, and you can register a user here as an admin, or here's a list of users. And all these users, when they registered on nopCommerce WordPress site, they were created on nopCommerce site as well. And this is just a quick demo of okay. Okay, availability. This integration will be available on GitHub from today onwards. And we have created a user guide and documentation. And all these shortcuts that I showed you, this quick demo, will be available along with the demo site as well. So you can play around. And the question is, we spend a lot of time on this integration. But to support the community, we'll be making it free for everyone. Use it. If you have any feedback, please let us know. We'll be supporting. Right now, it's based on 3.9 version, but we'll be supporting in future version as well. We have planned for 4.0 as well. And that's pretty much it. Now, Shakti will be talking about some technical aspects.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So Lavish has already discussed about how the integration happens. What was the idea behind doing the integration between nopCommerce as well as WordPress. So the technical challenges that we had is, if you are running 2 things simultaneously, a WordPress blog and an e-commerce platform, there is a difference of technology. So WordPress is based on PHP, whereas nopCommerce is based on ASP.NET, and in future is going to be migrated to ASP.NET Core as well. So PHP runs better on Linux platform, whereas nopCommerce works since it's a ASP.NET thing, it only works on Windows machines. And that's where the challenge is. So we wanted to, and since we already knew that nopCommerce is going to ASP.NET Core, which means that it can be run on Linux machines as well. So we are going to be having a system where both our WordPress blog as well as the nopCommerce store will be running on same machine, and that too will be open source. So that will save you a lot of licensing cost in terms of server and operating system. So I'm going to be discussing about a few aspects. So everything we want to make it seamless, which means that you don't have to put a lot of effort. Even if you're a store owner, you don't have to be very technical about it. So everything is available to you as a plugin. You don't have to do much. Everything, if you want to do integration, it's up to you whether you want a full integration or a partial integration. So partial integration scenario can be, I'm already running my store and I have a very successful blog, and I want to display all of my products onto my blog as well. So for that, you just have to use the WordPress plugin, install it, and then you will be able to display all the products onto your blog. Till user can see all the products, they can see all the categories, but if the user wants to check out, wants to make a purchase, then the integration with nopCommerce comes into picture. You need to have this nopCommerce plugin installed on your server, on your store. And that is where the add to cart and checkout magic happens. We already discussed that WordPress can be hosted on a Windows platform as well, and that is what we demonstrated just now. My friend has hosted the eCommerce, the nopCommerce and WordPress on his website, which is running on a Windows box. But later on, we are going to be planning to port everything to a Linux machine, probably within a Docker container or something, so that we can take advantage of scaling up as and when needed. So this is the overview of WordPress plugin. So the user registration is seamless. We don't want you to take the pain of registering a user onto two different places. So when you create a new user in your WordPress blog or on your e-commerce store, it gets automatically synced, right? So we have already created some APIs. We have tried to minimize effort. So we try to make use of existing plugins that are available. So we are using Ovin security for nopCommerce, and for WordPress, since we don't have much options available, so you need to store your credentials into your nopCommerce website so that the integration can be seamless. We have exposed the WordPress as API, REST API, using some REST plugin by WordPress. So whenever you want to display something, we just call the REST endpoint and then get the data, which is then displayed using shortcode on your WordPress blog. So this is how the integration is. We have two different databases, one for nopCommerce, one for WordPress, and as you create a user, it gets created at both of the places. To display categories, so the first step, if you are running a blog and want to show product, the first step that you want is to display the categories in a sidebar, and that's where the shortcode magic comes into picture. So you don't have to be technical, you don't have to write code, you just have to place shortcode on any of the pages that you can create in your WordPress blog. So one of the shortcode that you can use is display category tree, which is going to be used to display categories from a single store, but if you are running multiple stores, then you can also pass the ID. And the API that we have exposed as an endpoint is categories. So everything is available to us in JSON format, and then we put HTML wrapper over it, generate the HTML, which will work with whatever theme you are using on your WordPress website. So that is how it gives you the similar look and feel of your WordPress blog. Similarly, to display subcategories, again, there are a series of shortcodes that we have compiled for you. We have tried to give you as much as possible, and there are future integrations and future productions that we have thought of that we are going to be developing with my team. So our team has really worked hard. Lavish has been the brain behind this idea, and my team has worked very hard to make it a reality. So this is how you can display product detail. If you can see that everything is a shortcode, and when you write that, when you place that shortcode on your page, it makes a hit behind the scene to nopCommerce, fetch data, and that is displayed. So till this part where you are displaying categories, you are displaying products, subcategories, everything happens within WordPress. But the moment you want to buy something, so for example, add to cart comes into picture. The technical challenge that we had initially, and we were thinking about it, what if user is purchasing something? We need to maintain cart. So user has added some items to its cart in WordPress. The same cart needs to be replicated in our e-commerce, the nopCommerce website as well. So we thought about it, and a lot of things come into our mind. But then we decided that whenever a user is coming to our WordPress website, we are registering them, even if user is not logged in, we are registering them into nopCommerce as a guest user. So the GUID gets generated, and then whenever user wants to add something to cart, we pass that GUID to nopCommerce, gets the customer ID, and then maintains the shopping cart directly into nopCommerce. So at any point of time, if you have added any item onto your WordPress cart and you go to nopCommerce, you will see all the products over there. So you never lose track of your cart. So this is how it works. Whenever you are adding to cart, we check all the validations. So the way you do all the validations in your nopCommerce, all the validations are done at one WordPress site as well. So some of the validation can be, you cannot buy a product which is of $0 value. You cannot add a product if the quantity value is 0. All the basic validations of e-commerce are replicated into WordPress so that the chances of making errors for a human are very less. So we are making AJAX calls to nop database. This is how the complete process, which I have explained to you technically. And this is about orders. Since it's my blog, I may want to see all the orders that have been placed. So for that, we have another shortcode called orders. You will get a complete list. I'll have those shortcodes in my presentation. Plus, you can get them from our GitHub as well. So this is how it is. Nop customer order. This is the shortcode you need to place, and then it goes to API/orders. Get the data, and then your orders are displayed in a very nice tree view with complete theming support. These are the list of WordPress shortcodes that we are supporting right now, and we are planning to build on top of this as we are moving forward. So the integration right now happened, as Lavish already stated. We have developed everything using nopCommerce 3.9, but we have also been working on 4.0, and we have migrated things to 4.0 as well. We are not supporting core for now, but yes, we have the plans for future. Coming to the nopCommerce plugin. So once you have displayed your product and user adds to cart, the moment he makes a checkout, they are taken to the nopCommerce shop. And that's where the nopCommerce plugin also comes into picture. So this, I have already explained you this step. When a user comes to our WordPress site for the first time and they are a guest user, we are making an entry for that user as a guest user in nopCommerce database, and which is the process of generating a GUID, and a customer ID is generated, and then whenever we need to do anything with that customer, we just pass the customer ID along with whatever the data using the API endpoints that we have created, and we have written code both on the WordPress site as well as on the nopCommerce side. So this is the entire process, but this process of syncing will only work if we have this settings checked. Is WordPress cart integration allowed? If you have not enabled this setting, so we wanted it to be a seamless experience. If you want it, you can. If you don't want it, then the integration will not work. So just a matter of enabling the setting. So we are pretty much very much new to this, so we don't know what the security repercussions will be, though we have tried our best. So if you are not satisfied, you can turn it off and turn it on. Probably in future we'll be more confident about it, and then more scenarios can come up. So this is the user registration, and again, when you are setting this, you have this setting, is user registration allowed, which means that the moment you register a user into nopCommerce, it gets registered to WordPress as well via the reverse syncing process using the API. So as we have already using WordPress REST API plugin, so wherever possible, we have tried to use plugins rather than troubling you with a lot of code base. So the code base is less, but a lot of integration stuff with existing things that are already tried and tested has been done. This is how you can display your WordPress blog content into e-commerce as well. That's the next reverse part of the integration. So you're already running an e-commerce shop and you want to display your blogs from your WordPress website. You can do that, and just a setting in your e-commerce store. You have to select where you want your blogs to appear. Once you select it, you need to tell how many blogs you want to display. So it can be any number from 1 to anything. So the only challenge that we have is the WordPress doesn't have the option of giving you bulk blogs. So it gives you one blog at a time, which means that if you want to display 9 blog posts, you have to make 9 calls. Right, so we have tried to use some advanced multi-threading technologies using task parallel library, so that will give you much better performance, on a better server. But we'll advise you to keep this as up to an optimal number so that you don't get performance hits. Future enhancements, we are thinking about it, and the scenario that comes to our mind is right now everything is cookie based. So we are basically overriding cookies. And in future, we would like to use SSO, single sign-on. So right now there is a lot of support. Everything Microsoft has given us very good platform, that is Windows Azure, and which has a very good support for single sign-on and creating applications. So that is where our next target is. We want to host both of the things on Microsoft Azure, probably in some Docker container, and so that they can run together and they can be scaled independently. And then we would like to support SSO in the future. So this is how the SSO flow is. Most of you are already know about it. So both WordPress and nopCommerce will take the login functionality out of those. Whenever some user wants to log in, they will be redirected to a third-party server. Once they logs in correctly from there, cookie, a session ID will be generated that is stored on browser. And since it's the same cookie, so if you have logged in from WordPress and then you go to nopCommerce, your same session cookie will be used to log in to both the platforms. So that is the future implementation that we are trying to think of. Plus definitely will be making more efforts to make this, make a lot of improvements as we are moving forward.
And that's pretty much it.